All right, good morning everyone, and welcome to another video. So today should be a pretty interesting day. The last 2 days have been absolutely horrible as far as weather conditions. We had the remnants of Hurricane Deb come up the coast, and it dumped a huge amount of rain on us, 3 to 5 inches. Some areas got more, but I thought today, not only being that it's supposed to be a beautiful day, but with the change in conditions, I thought it would be pretty interesting to get out here and see how it affected the fish. So we're going to target walleye today, but I believe with the amount of rain that we've had, the water temperature, the surface temp anyway, has changed significantly, as well as the air temperature, and the barometric pressure drop is significant. I actually had to have a sweatshirt on earlier when I was getting the boat ready. It's warmed up a little bit. It's about 62 out right now. We've been averaging 70 to 75 at night, and just brutal humidity. It seems like somebody hit a switch and it's all gone. Hopefully that switch included, getting these fish to bite a little bit. So let's take a look at the water temp right now. Surface temp is 76. So the last time I was here, it was 81, and that was about a week ago, maybe a little bit more. So it just in the last day or so has dropped pretty significantly. In fact, it may have actually gone up higher because we had some pretty warm weather. So with that said, we're going to set up the troll today. Going to keep it real simple. We're going to go with stick bait, rattle with the little rattle in it, on downrigger on the right, and we're going to do worm harness, the orange guy on this side. That's got the little wedding ring on it, and I'm going to put out 3 colors with another worm harness and see what we get. Both of them are going to be orange. I'm looking for that little extra pop with the color because the water is a little cloudy now that we've had all this rain. I really feel like the worms should be pretty effective today, with that influx of rain, that hopefully they'll be moved up in the water column and actively feeding. The rattle with the pretty extravagant colored stick bait also should be something that should grab their attention. So let's see what we get. Could turn into a mixed bag. Could be a few trout moving around today. Wouldn't surprise me with the change in temp. But let me get set up. Let me get the motor dropped down, get lines in the water. Stick with me and I'll be right back. All right, looks like we're hooked up on the planer board here. Planer board with the worm. Definitely feel something pulling. Obviously don't know what it is, but interestingly, there are a ton of fish just littered through the water column. So they're top to bottom. Oh yeah, I can feel them pulling on that for sure. So, I mean, these fish seem like they're in an active pattern. So this could be anything. Now I don't feel him on there as much. Oh yeah, no, he's there. Coming up. Still a little head shake, but it doesn't feel like there's much weight behind it. Let's see what we got here today. Oh, that's a trout. Definitely a trout. I was not surprised that these guys would be a little active. It's a little guy. I'm not even going to bring him out of the water. I'm going to try to just release him. There it goes. All right. All right, well, we're on the board anyway. I'm going to shoot back down that way. So 3 colors, about 15 feet in depth. And like I said, I'm seeing fish from 8 to 20 feet moving around quite a bit. And I imagine that cool down really probably got those trout going a little bit. But we'll take it. Oh, we got something here. Either that or we're getting caught. All right, so they are really interested in this planer board, which is telling me that they're wanting it a little bit further away from the boat. I don't know if he's on there still. I had to make a pretty abrupt turn, so there might be a little hook in the line because we're getting awful close to shore here. Let's see what we do here. All right, first color's on. I don't really feel him on there. Oh yeah, he's still on there. I feel him shaking a little bit. Let's see what we got here. And that was about 20 feet of water, so I came up off of that 30-foot slope and I turned it right about 25 feet. So that line was probably snapped over in about 20 feet. And that's just about right where we wanted to be. Let's see what we got here. And it is a... All right, looks like another brownie. Little guy. All right, guy, hang on. I'm gonna get him right back in too. There he goes. All right, so the brown trout are definitely active today. Can't say as much for the walleye, but of course, you know, as you've seen in my previous videos, this lake is predominantly a trout lake for sure, because they stock it twice a year pretty heavily. But we're gonna get this back out, and then I'm gonna change over that line. All right, I'm gonna bring this in. This is the stick bait. I'm gonna change this stick bait over to something with just a little different profile. I don't have the same gaudy color in the other bait, but this might be just a little bit too big. So I'm gonna drop it down just a little bit, and still has the rattle in it. So this is a Rapala shadow wrap. I'm gonna switch it over to this one and see if that little bit smaller profile gives us any activity. I think the bait fish in this lake are not, you know, they're certainly not that big. I don't know if I need to even go down another size, but we'll run this down and see what happens. I'm more interested in the size of the bait in this particular instance than anything. So let's see what happens. Bring this guy in. think the other thing that I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna drop this down as far. I'm gonna run this at about 10 feet. Some of these fish seem like they're really suspended up high in the water column, and I'm seeing a really good amount of bait on the fish finder. In fact, let me see if I can show you guys what I'm looking at. So you could see bait ball, small bait ball, which really isn't small because you know, it looks small on there, but you're talking probably a 10 by 10. There's 2 more bait balls. So we definitely found the bait. And we just need to profile it and get the right size. We're going to do 12 feet, and we'll see how this rides. All right, let me get cleaned up here a minute, put the rest of this stuff away, get my cooler closed up, and I'll be right back. All right, we got to pull on the stick bait. Let's see what's going on here. So that little profile change might have made the difference. We got something on here. Looks like a trout again. Wow, these brown trout are really, really moving around today. Here we got, this is a little bit nicer one. See if we can get him off without having to net him. Yeah, he's really hooked. I gotta make pliers for this guy, for sure. There he goes. All right, so that actually was quick. The change was worth it. So this is definitely becoming a trout trip. And you know, I had anticipated that it was always a possibility that the trout would be a little active today because of the influx of colder water. I didn't think they would be as active as they are. These guys are really moving around and are moving around quite a bit as far as depth-wise in the water column. Like like I said, I'm seeing them all over the place. So, you know, target today initially was walleye, but we'll look for the trout. I mean, if they're there, we'll take them. Now, generally, I don't fish for trout when those water temperatures get up that high because it makes the return harder. But on a day like today, with the cooler surface temp, it's not as stressful on them, so they seem to be going back doing pretty good going back, and I don't see them struggling. And the other thing is we're not bringing them up from, you know, super deep water. You know, if I was bringing them up from 30 or 40 feet, it may be a problem because I'm sure it's a lot colder down there. But bringing them up from a 10-foot, you know, 10-foot range isn't nearly as stressful on them. The water temperature should be fairly close. I mean, I'm sure it's cooler down there, but you know, when you have 4 inches of rain sitting on top of what we've gotten over the last few days, we've gotten several inches of rain, so I'm sure it is where the difference is coming from. So we'll get that back out. And that was just a straight up troll with that little bit smaller stick bait. And you kind of noticed that fish was a little bit bigger. And he hit it. he wasn't playing with it because he was hooked top and bottom. All right, I think we're on the planer board again. So we had that water ski come through. He was pretty close, probably a couple hundred yards off. And then just as it came out of his wake, so it probably pumped the planer board up and down a few times, and he hopped right on there. He seemed to like my speed around that 1.8. All right, now we just got leader, and I can feel it loaded up, so there's something on there. Doesn't feel like it's big, but there's definitely something on there. That looks like another little brownie. Yeah, just a little guy this time. All right, guy, easy does it. I'm gonna get you back in like 2 seconds. There it goes. All right, I think we have hooked up again. This time on the, oh yeah, yep, we got something going on here. Sure. Still a little head shape going on. So, post-hurricane brown trout today. Really on fire. Let's see what we got here. That's a rainbow, I think. Oh no, that's a brownie. That's a brownie. All right, let's see if we can get him unhooked. He's just barely hooked on the bottom, so. Okay, guy. Let's see what we can do. There he goes. All right, so last two rigs all on the worm harness. Really, well, no, actually, I think the stick bait, then the worm harness hit. And then we had another worm harness. So it was one stick bait and then two worm harnesses right in a row. All right, let's reload here. Get these guys back out there. Oh, I doubled up here. That one I lost. But I got another one over here. All right, this one feels a little bit better. On that stick bait, he came around that corner and he just crushed it. Let's see what we got. And it is another brown. But we want to get him off quickly. He hit that like he was 5 pounds. All right, there he went. And I got another one over here, so a triple. And this guy's dragging it. This guy's dragging it. I mean, he's pulling that planer board like it's nothing. This must be a little bit better fish. All right, let's get this over here. See what we can come up with here. I just turned that corner and all three lines just went right in a row. I had that one pulled directly out of the, right out of the downrigger. Then the stick bait went off. And then for the finale, the planer board went off. Now this feels like a little bit better fish, unless I have him, he might be hooked in the gill plate or something and just feels a little heavier too. So we'll see. All right, coming up on the board. Yeah, I came around that turn and the lines were in that hook formation. As they come around, they swing around when you come through the turn. Walk it back a little bit. Yeah. See what's happening here. All right, we're about 30 feet. We're going to get a look at them here very shortly. Maybe. A little bigger. Probably have to get the net for this guy. All right, there we go. Okay. That's a nice brown. That's a nice brown. He's probably, I'm gonna say 17. Just a nice Harvey's Lake brown trout. All right, let's get him back. All right, so the key so far today hasn't necessarily been the track we've run. As you can see, it's pretty inconsistent. Swung out real wide, came back in, swung out real wide on that end. However, the side scan for bait is the track. So the pattern is the fish are scattered throughout the water column. In fact, you could see we got bait there. We got bait there. See some fish suspended. We're coming off of 60 feet right now, so we're gonna start getting into the more shallow end and see more bait. But we're dragging these lines right through that bait, and as it tracks through, hitting the tail end of those bait balls, that's when we're getting our strikes. All right, so I lost all of that. The battery was dead and I didn't know it. So, all right, so today, seemingly with this change in weather, the trout have come around. And you know, I didn't know exactly what to expect today. I knew that we would definitely see something different as far as how the fish were interacting with our baits. But this has really turned them, you know, the brown trout on. So with that said, what's the track? What pattern are we seeing today? You know, the track that I ran, really, it isn't consistent. The track is the pattern of bait fish. So I know that's word salad, but you know, we're tracking bait fish. We're not really tracking a certain structure. Depth-wise, we're holding, you know, that 12-foot range. The planer board is a little bit deeper at 15, but for the most part, we're in that 12 to 15-foot range, and we are finding fish. They are around the bait fish heavy, And as we pull through those bait balls, they're catching us on the tail end. Holding speed steady, that's one thing that has been consistent. It's been about 1.8 all day long, and they like it. And they definitely like the change to that profile stick bait, which I really thought, you know, we'd start out with the larger one to try to get some activity on it and then work our way down. So I only went down one size, and it is a little bit different color. It's not as gaudy. It looks more like a regular live bait, but you know, I really believe the profile was the key to that. Could probably test that if I was to change it to a different color with the same bait, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to continue fishing, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. So stick with me. We're going to keep going here. We're starting to see a little bit of boat activity. Our friends, the pleasure riders, are starting to get out, which I kind of expected today, being that they were definitely down yesterday and the day before with the hurricane coming through. But that's okay. We'll get our little bit of time out here, and then we'll turn it over to them and get back to the house. But stay tuned. We're going to keep going here as long as we can, and hopefully we'll find some more fish. Be back in a minute. All right, so I am going to try to get this camera going for you guys. Catch cam. Oh, it looks like we got a little tug on planer board again. Let's see what's going on here. So the planer board's been pretty busy this morning. I don't know if it's distance away from the boat. Maybe they're a little boat shy. I don't know. I can tell you this though, they are up in the water column, that's for sure. This is 15. It's probably riding around 12 to 15 feet. I have both downriggers set at 12 feet, and you know, they've been hitting it as soon as we've been hitting that bait. And you can see I actually have the fish on, but so that's the bait ball we just went through right there. And as soon as my lines hit that, this thing went off. So again, you know, the pattern is find the bait. There really is no set track. I'm not running any type of structure or anything like that. I'm kind of just side scanning until I see bait and then going right at it. Oh yeah, he's on there for sure. Oh, I think he just got off though. Unless he's swimming directly at the boat. See, with the lead core, I won't feel a little bit smaller fish like that. I won't feel as much until I get to the leader. No, I think he's still on there. I don't know where the net got off to, but let's see if we can get him over to the catch cam. Bring him right up along the boat here. I think what I need to do is turn this downrigger one notch down so that I can run that catch cam a little bit better, because he's going to go right for that downrigger. I might have to move that downrigger down if this is going to be the location we're going to keep this camera at. Well, let's see what happens here. If we get tangled up, we get tangled up. Oh yeah, there he comes. Small brown. See if I can just flip them off without getting too crazy here. I really am liking these circle hooks for this, because it makes the release, there he goes. It makes the release a lot easier. Seems like we're just lip hooking them. All right, here we are on the Garmin. See if I can get this back up. There it is, right there. That's a huge bait ball coming across our lines. So let's see what happens. Line number one is, there's a couple trailers I see behind it. Really hard with the glare today. and I cannot record screen onto a card with the unit that I have, which hopefully one day we'll make a change to be able to do that. But all right, there's my bait there. That's the one on the downrigger on the outside, and there's my bait. Oh yeah, we're coming right through that. Nice. Let's see if we get anything going on there. There's a trailer there. No takers. There's one coming up underneath. You see him there? It's a fish. He might be interested. Alright, well, let's see what happens. Again, still only down about 12 feet. Holding steady at 1.8 miles an hour. And so far it's worked out pretty well. I might bring that. Probably going to bring in that stick bait and check it just to make sure I didn't pick anything up on it, because it's been a little bit. I made a swing before with it on there. Let's get into autopilot. We'll swing this out just a little bit. Autopilot, and we're going to pull this. See if we have anything. I just want to make sure that it's clean. And it is. Okay. Let's go back. Same thing. We'll do that 12-foot drop. Definitely need to tie new leaders on all of these poles. All right, I'm gonna let it out to 50 this time. Get it away from the boat a little bit. See if that has any effect on anything. Get our clicker on, free that. Oop, a little too fast. And there's our 12 feet. All right, we are all in. I thought for sure when we pulled through that last set of bait we would see some activity, and it could just be very well, you know, it could be slowing down. Now the water temp's holding steady around 76. I don't think it's going to be super hot today, so I don't anticipate it creeping up too much. I'd love for it to stay like this and even get a little bit cooler, which I think we're supposed to get some cooler weather coming up, because that will start the fall trout season for me. So I kind of go by the water temperature. Like I said before, and I think I've even said this in some of my other videos, like usually July and August, I kind of give these guys a break, only because the release is difficult when you have 85-degree water temp on the surface. So I think that 76 is acceptable, especially you know, being that these fish are so high up in the water column. So they're in that temperate zone. So there probably isn't a whole lot of difference between, you know, when I'm bringing them up and releasing them. And today every one of them has gone back pretty solid. So, and you know what, if not, I'd be happy to take them home and have them tonight for dinner. So you know, you kind of got to judge what's going on, you know, when you're releasing and see how solid they are when they go back in. But so far so good. We're going to keep at it here for a little bit yet. I think we'll go to about 10 o'clock. If the fish keep biting, we'll go past that. But stay tuned, stick with us. While you're waiting for these fish to bite, go ahead, hit that like and hit that subscribe. Leave me something in the comments. Tell me, you know, what you think of the change in weather pattern, how it affected these fish. Let me know your thoughts on that, and I'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit. All right, we just had a good whack on the planer board, a really good whack, and he is out there. He's up on top. This is going to be the fish of the day right here. I can tell you that right now. So let's see here. Definitely the fish of the day. He came right up out of the water, and he is tugging this walleye board. You know, we passed through a bait ball, and there was some top action going on there, and the planer board went right through it, and a fish actually came up and bumped the planer board. Yeah, he's out there, but he's definitely going to be the fish of the day. So I'm about 170 out. Well, let's see if we can get a look at this guy. Walk it back. Yeah, we got some weight here. He's feeling like he's going to come up again. Here he comes, here he comes. Decided not to. We're not on leader yet. Oh yeah, now he's diving. Now he's just diving straight down. Straight down. I'll probably get the net for this guy. Oh, that might be a smallmouth. That might be a smallmouth. It is. All right. Well, I thought it was a big old trout, but it turned out to be a decent smallmouth. All right. I had him bottom hooked. All right, let's get a look at this guy. Let's get a look at this guy. Not bad. Probably, I'm going to say about, maybe 14. A little over a pound and a half, maybe. Let's get him back down in. He's out. There he goes. That was fun. He cracked it. So 1.5 pound smallmouth on this rig feels like a 3.5 pound trout. That's what you get pound for pound when you're dealing with those guys. So fun, real nice. So there again, you know, the activity with the weather, I think these fish are spread out all over the place. That cooler water is allowing them to move around in different depths and you know, get their feet on. And it's really shown this morning. You know, when those brown trout start moving around like that, you know, something has affected them. If the water temp went from 80, over 80, to, you know, what we see today in the 70s. So definitely interesting to note. You know, we don't generally have days where we get 4 inches of rain that, you know, the water would change so abruptly, but yesterday was an anomaly, and I'm glad I came out today. You know, it was hit or miss. The roads, we had trees down all over the place, but you know, I wanted to come out and just see how these fish were going to act today, and it definitely paid off. So all right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to re-rig here. I'll probably make the turn and go back before I get this guy back out, and we'll keep at it. Stay tuned. All right, it looks like we got a chaser here on the Garmin. You can see the front dot on the left is the swivel, and then the back is the actual worm harness, and then the trailer is the fish, the one all the way to the right. Nice big bait ball coming through. He was thinking about it, but he didn't take, and now it looks like he's going to get some bait. So the bait caught his interest and won out, which is okay. We have the planer board coming up behind it, so maybe he'll lose interest chasing bait and come back for that. Let's see what the stick bait's doing. Stick bait's kind of just hanging out there. All right, we got another one approaching. It's nice that sun went in a little bit. I can see without that major glare. All right, so what a good day. Really interesting day. Again, had all that rain, dropped our water temperature down significantly, and had a severe impact. So originally thought I was going to come out and target walleye. Thought that was, you know, the change in temp would drive them into a suspended mode, and it turned out we ended up with the trout day. Brown trout very active all through the water column from you know, 10 to 15 to 20 feet. These trout were moving around. I would say pretty much all, in fact I can say all of our strikes came in that 12-foot range. Everything from the worm harnesses to the stick baits were running around 10 or 12 feet, and it was very productive. As far as the track today, there was no track. It was find the bait and drag your presentation through it, and the trailing end of it would seem to be when we were getting those bites. So you know, there's going to be days like that. You know, some days structure, and when these fish are actively feeding, it's find whatever they're feeding on and follow it around. So that's what we did today. Good day. I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you guys for all the support on the channel. I hope you'll hit that like, and I definitely hope you'll hit that subscribe. Helps us get out to more anglers, get the word out, get some of these presentations out in front of people that, you know, maybe are new to trout fishing or just want to try something different. So again, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys soon on the water. All right, what a way to end the day. One last hit before we go, and we're gonna call it a day. Let's see what we got. And it's gotta be a perch, it was low. It is, it's a perch, but it's a nice perch. All right, well, that's gonna definitely wrap it up for me. All right, nice little perch.